Welcome back to the Trackmania games, where we are now ready to get into our first match on the broadcast with only 4 players in it, and therefore, of course, the servers will be flawless. It's going to be great. Heading rapidly into this one, we'll talk about the match that we've selected in this round of 16 in a second, but with matchups starting to be populated on both the Trackmania games website and over on our partner website, eCircuitMania, who are providing all of our lovely stats for the event. Looking down the list there then, Gex, any match in particular that you're kind of keeping on? As a reminder to everyone who is watching, as Gex goes into his spiel about this, 2 players will go through in the upper bracket from this. The lower 2 players in each of these matches not eliminated, but they will be dropping to lower bracket. Who's at risk, Gex?
I think the most interesting one to me is the one we're going to be casting, so I'm going to leave that one alone. However, the only one I would say it's not a risk so much as an opportunity. That match number 15 I'm looking at, Cambo actually has a chance to stay back in this, and judging by the performances of Mutter, might even be our best opportunity right now, and Cambo did have some good results, so I've got to hold out hope for OCE, right?
Yeah, that is this match that's just on screen now. Chinks, Mi4, Razji, and Cambo, the players in that one. Going to be interesting. Orion, anything catching your eye? Any players who are kind of in a harder position than they might want to have found themselves?
Do you know, so I scrolled down to that match and I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like an interesting thesis. And now I'm unfortunately going to dispel it because that match has Mi4 in it, who is just a standout player, former TMCL, TMGL, whatever you want to call it, professional Trackmania player, right? And did you say the Norwegian player is pronounced Chinks? Is that right?
Sinks, or I'll be honest,
Sinks,
I took my best
whatever.
guess, Orion. I apologize to everyone involved.
So, in terms of world records and leaderboards, 4th on Burden by Leroy. World record on Cryomass. 3rd on Addiction.
Yeah.
I think your boy's going down, Gex.
It's a little bit unfortunate for sure. Formal, is there any matches that you were looking at that you want to kind of highlight in this round of 16 before we talk about the match that we are going to be casting? Number two, that is match B. Epos, Lingo, SQLC, and Sasui.
Oh, yeah.
That's where my eyes are right now because I want to make a bold prediction. I want to get that upset. I like what SQLC can do. I think Lingo is looking inconsistent. At the end of some of those rounds. Yes, okay, maybe he was still finishing top 10 every single time, but I have to have some hope. So I think that's where you could see maybe a little bit of surprise. SQLC, I know, has got that pace. So I got my eyes on 2. Shout out to match 4 as well. I know we don't have time to go into detail. That's another one. And even match 10, I think, is another good one. But you know, we're covering
a lot of good matches.
One.
We're covering the good match. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We say that, and then it's going to be one side. No, it's going to be great. We are going to match 9. Stuffed, Ninja, Miles, and Mudda. So the other Australian hope, and maybe a slightly brighter life, maybe a stronger chance of Mudda making it through this this match, Gex.
Sure.
Sure, maybe. Yeah.
Yes. Strongly, yes. Promise. Mudda on top. I don't know. There's some really good representation out here. Stuff's finished first on so many. Ninja has so many good finishes individually, just some really good times. And Miles, Orion brought it out. Consistency was the name for Miles, so he was able to just keep coming through with those similar times and just push through into relatively good positions.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, Orion, it's maybe interesting to note here that Mudda is coming in as the lowest seed in this match, you know?
Yeah,
not a significant margin necessarily, and he did the job. He did enough work to get into top 64, but is the lowest seed after seeding of these 4 players.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Whether he was just, I'll just get through seeding and then maybe I start to push, that kind of mindset, or, whether he hasn't maybe practiced this as much, because I believe that he's... what other styles is he competing in? He's going to be training not just this, whereas I think Miles, for example, is like, this is his calling. Like, this is the one event that he is playing, so has probably grinded it a lot more. So we'll see. Whatever happens, I think it will be very interesting.
Well, not so generalized complaint. I have a complaint directed directly at Mutter. The only events I've ever gotten the cast Mutter in, he turned up with no practice for. So I'm really hoping that's not the issue here. I'd really hope not.
Gex, I have some bad news for you then, because I don't know if he's practiced or not, but the reason why we push so hard for this one is because I realized as a panel, we have like 2 Australians and a Brit. We're here to cope together. Because I do feel like Stoops and it's just going to power their way through. I think we're going to see Netherlands domination in this one.
We can cry together.
Exactly. This is going to be a team building exercise for us. As just think F1. It's always Verstappen, and it's always going to be Stoops in this heat.
Yeah, I will say, just while we're speaking about players who maybe show up on practice to events, Gwen did manage to make it through the seeding for mixed solo and is in match 1 up against Elcon, Neon, and PC, and that's definitely a player to keep your eyes on. If Gwen can remain in the upper bracket for as long as possible, has probably turned up with hopefully a little bit more training than he occasionally shows up to the World Tour events with. But there are plenty of these World Tour players who show up and are able to improve over the course of a bracket as well. So even round of 16, even players who drop early on at this point, I don't think there's a guarantee that they're getting eliminated all the way early on in this one. There's a lot of players who are fully capable of managing to improve on the day, as it were. Plus, as long as you survive until the end of today in the mixed solo, we're not running the finals for this event today. There is a little bit of that gap before you actually get into it. There is time to kind of lock in and really finalize those preparations. But you do need to make it to the end of the day. We will be having eliminations on the day as well. We are getting closer to game time now, and as we get closer to game time, then I am going to go around the panel, and I'm going to start with Formal and ask for a prediction for the 2 players who are going to make it out of this match.
I think I said it already. But I'm looking at Stuffs, and I'm going to change my mind because I'm too scared to pronounce his name right now. So obviously can't go through. Australian Pride. It's going to be Mutta and Stuffs. I don't know.
Sure. That seems fair. Absolutely. Mutta to make it through, the lowest seeded player to make it through in the top 2. Orion.
But they have a name that you can pronounce.
Listen, this is that European
welcome
allergy
to global esports.
That's true. At least it's not Rocket League, and they don't all just have X replacing all of their vowels.
It's those evil Northern Hemisphere guys, I swear.
Yeah, that's fair. Orion, I'm going to ask you for the prediction as well. And listen, even if you pronounce the name wrong, that's fine.
Do you know, obviously Stuffed, okay, locked in. That's locked in. I really want to pick Miles. I really do.
Do it. This is the cope heat. I've already coped.
Welcome
now
to
you
Scope
join
Channel.
us. Take Miles.
Yep, go on. Give me Miles then. Give me Miles.
He's gonna come in last. He's coming fourth.
We need to have a serious conversation about peer pressure and how to avoid giving into it when this panel ends. Just because the Australians are loud and in your ear at the moment doesn't mean you need to listen to what they say, okay?
I think you just described the country.
Yours? Yeah.
I'm going to be loud and in your ears. I say number 1 out of this is Mutta. Come on! Mutta's coming out as number 1. And definitely not going to be Stuffs or Ninja. It should be Stuffs and Ninja. I've got to put Mutta up there. We're on that train. It's going. I'm not going to be tacked on the end of the peer pressure. I want to bring it myself.
Now go Miles as well.
Yeah.
Now go Miles as well.
Listen, to round it out,
it's got to be Miles from New Alert.
To round it out, I will give a prediction, and I am going to say it's going to be a Dutch sweep. I'm just going to stick to logic. I'm going to go with the seeding. Gex, Orion, get out of here, all right? We're heading into match. The match is totally kicking off very shortly. Formal. Oh, it's unlucky for them. They're stuck with us for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah, they already got an hour of me, and now they get even more. I wonder what new fun ways we could break our microphone. But yeah, look, Brain says Dutch sweep. I think you're probably right on that one. However, again, this group, it has like the most variables. I feel like the most chances for that upset. We all know how strong Mutta can be. Miles has been pushing and training hard. I trust Orion when he says that. This could be a very fun heat. Now, we didn't really talk about what we're playing to. It's cup rules going to 100 points. And I imagine we just keep going through until all 4 actually finish, because the seeding matters for that lower bracket.
Yeah, I believe you are correct in that one. We'll see as we are underway. Stuffs is the player who has made, unfortunately, the first mistake. So it is Nietzsche out in the lead. Miles slotting in just behind. Mudda sitting in third at the moment. We are kicking things off on Addiction, the map by Mime in this map pack. And on uphill dirt, it is wheel to wheel between Mudda and Miles in the middle at the moment.
Yeah, of course, though, as we were talking about before, this track, it does kind of come down to the ending, the bug slide, the pole, how well you can do to avoid all that as we get near to it. It is super wheel-to-wheel. Finally, though, Miles gets a little bit of space, and if they hit this last turn clean, which they do, that should be enough. A little bit of awkward of an exit, but with that tight finish, will hold on to P2, and it is going to be Nietzsche and Miles, 1-2 to start things off.
Yeah, and one of the things that we're going to have to start to keep an eye on as well as the day progresses, as we get deeper into these brackets, Formal, is what are the current online world records? Plenty of players will have been practicing offline. Plenty of them will have better times than those online world records show. But the current online world record for Addiction by Mime, a 57.342 by Levon, set 9 days ago. No one's been able to catch that in a while. And we'll see how long that can stand for as well. We did see some players getting a little bit closer, within a few tenths of it during the seeding rounds. But once we're actually into matches here, how close can these players push it?
Yeah, I'll be curious to see. And I'm also going to be curious to see if there's any more hidden tech that might make its way known, like what we saw with Bourbon before in that last map. This second round, though, going a lot more like maybe what we would have predicted with the Dutch out in front. Stuffs this time keeps it clean, leading the charge. Miles, though, takes advantage of just another mistake from Stuffs, and this could be his second, fourth in a row.
Yeah, not the start that Stuffs would have been looking for. His grand return to Trackmania Esports. He made it through seeding, not really making it through the rounds at the moment. It's another round win for Nietzsche. Miles takes second place this time around. The time did improve. You have to note up at the top there it was a 57.9 round winning time last time around, improving by about 2/10. So Miles on the pace to win the round last time. He's just 2/10 off the lead this time around.
All right, I'm going to make my one Rocket League analogy of the entire broadcast. But I always kind of see these rounds similar to like a best of 7 in Rocket League.
Sure.
First couple rounds, you're getting your footing by Miles.
Yep.
And it's not till you get to games 3, 4, 5 where teams will start to hit their peak. Same thing in this. It's rounds 3, 4, 5 where drivers will start to hit their peak. And then once you start going past that, then you might start overthinking, and that's sometimes where you actually slow down a bit and you start making little mistakes. As it stands right now, Stuffs has already made 2 mistakes, so I don't expect to see a third in a row. Mudda's falling back, and it's Nitsky out in front, though, looking very good.
Hey, you'd have to say credit for Miles for keeping on the pace in this round, managing to hold on despite kind of falling behind a little bit early. Nietzsche just looking incredible across the first 3 rounds here. Might be that third round win in a row. Perfect, looking to go perfect across 3 rounds. And that battle up front is incredibly tight between the 2 Dutchmen at the moment. Nietzsche to come out on top just behind Mudda has pulled away from Miles, who has made a mistake, will still get the finish in. If you do not finish, no points for you. So do keep an eye on that finish time out in some of these matches, because you do still want to be finishing rounds. I've seen it before, Formal. I've seen matches where a player is like, oh, I made a mistake, I'll just DNF, that's fine. 3 points, what could it matter? And then they end up 3 points off getting finalists several rounds later, and you're like, well...
It's not even just professional play. How many people here, be honest, in Cup of the Day, accidentally, reset completely, knock yourself out, and go like, oh, that was dumb. It happens. I think what's interesting right now, though, is... Well, first of all, Ninja made their first mistake, so they're gone. Our other 3 drivers, all 3 points apart after 3 rounds. This is going to be our first real look at probably who's going to be favored to get that second position right now. And, of course, it's going to be between Stuffs and Miles. Mudda just destined to finish third every single time, it feels.
Yeah, I mean,
moment.
hey, it's not ideal in cup mode. It is a big points drop off first to second and down to third as well, and that'll start showing the leaderboard. Just one first place really can catapult you up into the leaderboard. Miles pushing forward at the moment. Stuffed just about getting the nose in front. Stuffed tighter. Miles clipped. Stuffed will take the round win. Mudda ends up with a second, and Ninja will take third from Miles. And that's a tragic finish to what was looking like a very strong round for the man from Great Britain.
He was going under 100th of a second for the final 3 checkpoints with Stuffs every single time. And it actually looked like he had the better line going into that last turn. Unfortunately, bonks themselves out, loses a lot of points. They're going to actually drop back to 4th, I believe, at the end of that one. So it is good for Stuffs starting to pull maybe a little bit ahead of that pack, maybe starting to chase down their fellow countrymen. But We're already going on to the next track. Not a lot of time. Not like before where you had 10 rounds in it. We're kind of flying through them. So back to that game 1, back to that warm-up round.
Yeah, and it's definitely something to keep an eye on as we fly through these rounds, as you point out, 4 rounds per map. You kind of start to keep an eye towards where is this match going to end? Where are players going to be hitting finalists? Which maps are we going to be on? Because on map 1, Nietzsche looked really, really strong. 1 round that he didn't win and still managed to pick up a 3rd with that mistake from Miles at the end. So if we're on addiction and players are in finalist mode, Nietzsche's looking really solid right now. We'll see how they all look now as we head on to map 2. We are going to be heading to Bourdon, the map by Leroy, featuring Feed as well on the mapping team for that one. Current world record on this map. Do you know who it's held by, Formal?
No, I don't.
I'll give you a hint. It's someone in this match.
Oh, is it Stuffs?
It is Stuffed. Current world record held by Stuffed at 55.0. So again, this is a map that very likely will be a map that later in the rotation we will be heading back to with players on finalist mode, fighting it out to move on in the upper bracket. And if Stuffed is looking clean on this map, then he is on that wood section. Orion highlighted its importance earlier. This could be a really, really good map for Stuffed.
I will be curious to see how long he holds onto that world record for, based on what we saw before in the seeding with that new tech that got discovered.
Someone has.
Seemingly.
I had not reloaded my page. Someone is correct. Massa took the world record 30 minutes ago. That's on me. I apologize for the misinformation.
There it is. Look, that's okay. I thought this map was called Bourbon before, so what does that say about me? Either way, though, first round coming across, it's going to be Stuffs. Not too much of a surprise winning that first one as Mutta continues the streak of 3rds. And, oh, no, wait, sorry, was Mutta? Oh,
yeah, Mutta 3rd in that round. Yeah,
okay.
No, Mutta was 3rd. Yeah, all good, all good. Miles took 2nd. Nietzsche was in. What was confusing was Nietzsche in 4th, something we have not seen very often.
I'm not used to that. I'm used to him being first or first, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a bit of a shocker right there. But at that same token, yeah, this is actually really good for Stuffs as well, because in theory, this probably is going to be the map where you would hit finals on if you're leading the pack. And we know who's strong here.
It's right now, I mean, Stuffed, we kind of said it looking at those online leaderboards, not always reflective of the pace players are going to have when we actually get into competition. Offline prac is a thing. Most of these players do at least a little bit of it as well, but I mean, it's still maybe a general indicator of the strength of performance you can expect, and it's definitely indicating Stuffs' performance right now. Once again, out to a strong lead this time around. His countrymen and teammates slotting in behind him. Nietzsche in 2nd, and Mutta will take another 3rd place, but that's a great round for the players from the Netherlands.
Yeah, it is, and they're really starting to establish themselves as why they're coming in as those 1-2 seeds a little bit more. Granted, Stuffs now has taken the overall lead. Or no, sorry, off by 1. Math is hard. But pretty much this next round will determine who's going to have the overall lead in this group. And it does feel like momentum is shifting back over to Stuffs. I'm just curious, is it going to be possible for Miles and Mutta to kind of catch the Dutch once we get to that final stage? Because from what I'm seeing right now from their pace, it's looking a little bit better for Miles, who I think was stronger on the first map than Mutta was, but this is looking very dire for the Australian.
Yeah, it's starting to look a little bit scary. It might be an earlier lower bracket entrance than Mutta was hoping for in this mixed competition. I mean, as was pointed out, Mutta is playing in the mixed and also in the full speed and also in the RPG. But in terms of tracks to practice, I mean, that was both the full speed and the mixed. And you'd kind of expect Mutta to maybe be putting a little bit of focus towards that full speed. It is the one that I'm sure he'd like to do best in.
Yeah, I mean, he is known for being a full speed driver, so not the biggest shock in the world.
They tied.
That is
oh my lord,
brutal for Miles as well.
No. Miles came second. Miles got the points. Yeah. To be clear, leaderboard ordered them alphabetically, but Miles got the 6 points there. It does go based on who was leading through the last checkpoint then. So Miles got the 6 points. Don't worry.
You expect me to count and know my alphabetically and
yes, correct. Yeah. These are all requirements. Was this not on the onboarding form that we had you fill out for the job?
All what the onboarding job said was watch car go fast. All right, like
that's pretty important too.
Yeah, so that's where
Oh dear.
HA, goodbye. That's going to be painful, and, well, unfortunately, a bit of a rough landing. It's actually kind of knocked Mudda out of this one as well. Stuffs, this is going to be the easiest round for them yet right now. Already nearly a second ahead. They just got to ghost across the line, and this is looking... I'm pretty sure this was a perfect stage for Stuffs if he wins this. This is our 4th round on the track, and yeah, I think they went 4 for 4.
And it really does show as well. I mean, those 10 points for first place are so huge in this cup format, especially, hey, you get 4 of them in a row, that's feeling pretty good. But stuff's going from the bottom of the leaderboard all the way to the top of the leaderboard in 4 rounds, in 1 map, is now leading. And that leads, frankly, looking pretty comfortable as well, pretty quickly. As we head to map 3, it is going to be stuff from Nietzsche, from Miles, from Mudda. And the gap starting to extend a little bit from 2nd down to 3rd formal. But, again, like 10 points. And if Nietzsche, 10 points for Miles, Nietzsche comes 4th in a round. That's a 7-point swing. The gap closes very quickly.
Yeah, it's all about keeping it clean as we get ready to run into Cryo Mass. So a little bit of ice, maybe the safest finish of them all. But we'll see how it plays out. You talk about crashing. This is probably the 2nd most likely track to see a crash, but if you crash on that ice section, I mean, you are losing a lot of time. So expectation is everybody will keep it clean. We'll see how we go. This is, of course, just the warm-up, not quite starting yet. I will say this, all right? I'm going to speak from the heart, not the brain, for a little bit. I don't think Mudda has finished 4th yet in a single round, and yet is in last place.
Yeah, that's how it... You are better off being inconsistent and kind of spiky sometimes in cup mode. Like, a few 1st places and a few 4th places will beat out just consistent 3rd places in this mode repeatedly. And unfortunately, yeah, Mudda is finding that out to his detriment right now.
It's a tough... Look, it's so strange for such a European esport to, like, take lessons from NASCAR where winning is everything and who cares about every other place. That's my take on this. You're all just a bunch of NASCAR fans at the end of the day, but here we go, starting this one off right now. Hey, NASCAR's a great format, but it is looking good for Nietzsche out in front. Mudda finally competing for the lead, but has Miles right on the tail as well. All of our top 3 within 0.05 of a second.
Yeah, Twitch chat has kindly informed me that the K in Kninsha is not silent, and so I should be pronouncing it. They also let us know it apparently means rabbit in Frisian, which
I'm just going to call him rabbit then.
Yeah, that seems fair. I'll do my best with Knicha. Miles is going to crash out in front. The rabbit is fleeing from the hounds. Mudda is sitting in 2nd place at the moment, looking for his best finish of the match so far. Stuffed's a distant 3rd at the moment, and it will be a 2nd place for Mudda as Knicha will pick up 1st place in this one. Back to his winning ways.
Back to his winning ways, and had a timely moment as well, because that is definitely... I believe it's going to get him right up there close to the top. It's not going to be the overtake just yet, but well within striking distance for the rabbit. Of course, Mudda's going to move back up into 3rd as well. So there was one change in the positioning after that last round, starting up the next one. Everybody nice and neat. Snipes that narrow gap, but Mudda is going to fall a little bit behind. So a 3-horse race through the ice, though. Will ground be made up? Yes, it will. Mudda with the cleanest exit of the 4 now gets right up there with Stuffs, who still holds on to the lead. Stuffs very strong at the start, but everybody within a 1/10 of a second through the first half of the track.
These are the rounds we wanted to see. Mudda, not a great entry into the dirt, though. He's going to fall away immediately. It's still a 3-horse race up front, but it's Miles staring at the taillights of 2 cars in orange and white. Can he get an overtake done on these final sections? So wide, gonna catch the penalty grass on the entry into the ice, and that's just going to send him spiraling out. He was pushing. He was trying to catch up to the Dutchman, just not able to keep the car on track in doing so, and so it'll be Stuffed probably with the round win. Knicha with the 2nd place as well. Mudda, I'm going to assume from the sound of that, was crashing somewhere behind as well. Still took 3rd, and now Miles just needs to get it finished within the next 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Come on now, Miles. Yep, there we go.
Okay, there we go.
Sorted out. Still made it across the line. Unfortunately, I will point out Formal, Miles not having a good time of it here on Cryomass. Has been overtaken by Mudda, and really the end result has been those 2 Dutch players, Stuffed and Kninsha, really pulling away up front. They are getting rapidly towards finalist mode, assuming kind of, 3-4 more wins for each of them. We're going to be hitting finalist on the next map.
Yeah, I think we will be. And I mean, again, that's good news actually for the rabbit in this one. Good news for Knicha if they can get into that position. Now Mudda Again, with a bit of a good start right now, and this could be an opportunity to get some ground on Miles, if nothing else. Stuff's had a bit of a problem early on in this one, so again, good opportunity for Kanicha if they can stay up in the front. Mutta, though, right with them, they've kind of been changing positions. Miles still hoping for a bonk. Last couple turns through that second lot of ice. Mutta has been getting good exits, but it's actually going to be Kanicha who has the tighter line. What was that line? But then they bonk! Oh, that's a painful way to lose the lead, because that was screaming through the middle portion of the track.
Oh, Miles so nearly made the comeback happen as well. About a 10th away from Kanicha at the finish line in the end. Great recovery from Kanicha. I mean, if there is a crash that it's quote-unquote acceptable to make in Trackmania, touching on outside dirt is going to lose you a few tenths, but you can still hold on to position a lot of the time as well. And Kanicha doing a good job there of holding on to the second place. Round win for Mutta, though. First we've seen, I think, all match long, and that'll be big. I mean, it's the right time to start having a surge, and that's going to be both Dutch players sliding out at the start of the track, and so it's the Australian and the Brit who are through 1-2, and Miles leads the way from Mutta heading into the middle of the track.
We got a modern day Ashes happening right now, except maybe the result this time is going to be a little bit different with Miles in the lead through these next two portions. Mutta, yeah, this is definitely not the Ashes, because Miles now can just coast to an easy victory.
And as we all know, England bad at cricket, famously.
The worst.
At least when it comes to playing the Ashes.
The worst. Yeah.
Yeah, tragic, really. Hey, yeah, Miles is going to win a round. That's pretty nice for Miles. I mean, again, same thing as we said at the end of the last round when Mutta got his first round win of the match. Now is the time to start the surge, right? Kanicha and Stoofs, they're not quite close enough to finalist mode that they're kind of guaranteed to hit it, even with third and fourth places, before Miles and Mutta can catch up to them. If, you know, you continue to get wins for the Brit and for the Australian, then all of a sudden this match gets a lot closer very, very quickly, Formal.
Yeah, but that said, we're now starting to hit our first loop, and if we kind of remember how this one started, it was very good for the Rabbit. All right, they kind of hopped their way through this. Kanicha very strong on addiction. We'll see how the others will look to improve, though, going at it. However, my expectation is, at minimum, we will get to the finals.
Formal, they're chasing the orange and white rabbit on addiction. It all comes together. Formal. It's, oh my god. Hey, that's class A. Listen, well, yeah, I have sunglasses on. Yeah, definitely point yourself on that one. Yeah, that's rough. Hey, we're back onto addiction. You're right. Kanicha had an absolutely fantastic map here the last time around. Can he keep it up this time around? Can Stoofs make the comeback as well? That's the other thing to highlight, is that this was the map that the Dutch players were the most split on. Stoofs really didn't have a strong start to the match. Off to a strong start in this round.
Yeah, and again, if you remember how strong, Stoofs is in the next map, you feel like, all right, this is where we have to make our catch. This is where maybe we can sneak our spot to the finalists. And I think that's why we're going to be seeing Mutta and Miles pushing as hard as they seem to be at the start. Miles a bit more so, but Stoofs maybe a bit more settled right now. Up towards the front as well. Coming in through those final corners, it's still anyone's game. Mutta is dropping furthering back as Kanicha is starting to come a bit further forward as well. Might be too little too late. Stoofs, very tight line, gets about half a car length, but it's immediately taken back. Miles and Stoofs into the bug slide. Who will get the better exit? It's Stoofs. Tight finish. You know it, as Mutta has to go safe. Stoofs wins the round.
Whew. That's a pretty tasty little round there for Stoofs. I was asking the question, was he going to be able to recover from the performance on addiction the last time around? And the answer, yeah, big round win this time around. Formal, I've been asked for a zoology fact. I'm going to deliver a quick hare fact, given that we have Kanicha, the rabbit, in this game. In Ireland, we do not have the multiple types of hares that are found in other parts of Europe. We only have mountain hares. And so they've spread down into all of the coastal and plains areas that other types of hares occupy across the rest of Europe.
I'll drop a fun rabbit fact as well, kind of. In Australia, in an attempt to stop them moving from the east to the west coast, they tried to build a fence across the entire country.
Yeah. It's a cool fence. It's a very cool fence. It's not doing its job very well, but it's
no,
a cool
not at
fence.
all. It didn't work at all. However, right now, Mutta trying to kind of fence the rabbit
Stuff.
out on this one. That's why they're slowing down. Stuff slowing down as well. Here comes Kanichia back up into P3. Miles realistically just needs to cruise to the finish, but we know this finish can catch people out. Let's see what happens. Oh no, Miles!
He's respawned! He fully respawned as well. He decided to slow. That's a respawn up front as well. Mudda's through. He's going to win the round. Kanichia will take second. Miles and Stuffed. It'll be Miles to take third. As a disaster class. And the last few corners for Miles and for Stuffed. I mean, Stuffed's made it literally to the final corner. Clipped on that inside pole on the way through. And Mudda, the big winner on that one. And that changes the game a lot. Stuffed would have been finalist.
Yeah. Look, we were due a chaos round. We were due a little bit of that pandemonium.
Stephen Bradbury mode activated. That's a
Absolutely.
pull.
Hey! First Australian Winter Olympic gold medalist. All right, you got to do it how you got to do it. Let's see what Mutta can do it again.
Yeah, everyone should go look up Stephen Bradbury on YouTube. It is one of the races of all time. But don't do it right now because Stubbs is on the verge of hitting finals mode. Kanichia still too far away, even if he can manage to overtake Stuffed on this round and won't even deny Stuffed's finalist mode. Stuffed would need to come third or worse in order to not get finalist on this round. And right now, leading the way, looking much stronger on our second showing on Addiction. Kanichia chasing Mutta and Miles half a second down on both of the Dutchmen up front. Just need to clear the final pole this time around. Stubbs went wide, was not risking it this time around. Miles will snipe Mutta at the finish line as well, but I don't think that's the story of this round. The story of this round is we have our first finalist, Stuffed, getting there, and that's not really how things looked at the top of the match.
No, it isn't, and now they have a chance to end it before even moving on to Bourdon. Which would be good for Stuffs, and we'll see if they're able to bring it home. For Kanichia, I mean, this is a chance to possibly play spoiler again. You do have to win, as everyone knows. I'm saying the obvious right there, but the thing is, with the form Stuffs has shown, I think we're only going to have 3 people in the next round. I'm going to be honest, and that's kind of being reflective in what we're seeing here right now. Already a car lengths ahead. Yeah, Miles kind of almost trying to deny the second finalist because I think Kanichia still needs to get 6, which would be a second place to get finals at this stage. So if Miles can hold on to P2, well, it keeps them kind of in it, but a bit further back, and this is really tight in our top 3.
Yeah, this is pretty tight up at the top right now, though. They are doing their best to try and catch Stuffed, but he is fleeing. He is just about holding that lead. Miles, great speed down the hill. Stuffed, overtaken by 2. It comes down to the final corner, and it's going to be Miles leading the way at the finish line. Stuffed ends up in 3rd place behind Kanichia as well, and that throws this match for a bit of a loop. Kanichia not able to take 1st place, not able to hit finalists either.
Yeah, so that is just extra points that will go the way of, the 2 drivers trying to chase it down. There is hope for the Commonwealth still in this one to get someone in. We'll see how it plays out as we go back, though, to Bourdon. And again, last time we were here, Stuffs 4 for 4. All wins, 40 points. This time, they only need to take 1, and they will get through this heat in 1st place, best seeding moving forward into, well, the round of 8, I suppose, in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, look, I hate to call out what the players are saying in in-game chat. It's their safe space. But Miles saying, we got this, Kanichia. I would like to point out, Miles, 81 points, 1 point in front of Mutta and 17 points behind Kanichia. And Kanichia, I think more interestingly, Kanichia maybe sounding a little bit worried. I have no pace on this track as we go back to Bourdon. That's a fair point. I do think this was the track that maybe Kanichia was struggling the most with of our 3 and is not that safely far in front of Mutta and Miles at the moment. We could be down to a very, very tight ending of this match, but can Stuffed close it out? I mean, again, you have to feel like Addiction was maybe his worst track in the 1st rotation. Surely he manages to make it through on one of our remaining 2.
Yeah, you'd have to think Stuffs is going to get through on this one. Oh my gosh! A couple of people went wide right there. It does look like they were able to save it. Mutta, a brief little look at P2. But yeah, I think the bigger story right now is, look, Kanichia, they're going to get finalists at the end of this round. And then it's kind of up to Mutta and Miles to chase him down and prevent him from winning. And you don't want to go to the next map. You want to do it on this one. You want to stay on Bourdon. Stuffs
Oh, he clipped. He clipped. He's gone. He's behind. There won't be 3 mistakes. Stubbs made another mistake back there. We're at the finish line already. Miles is going to win another round. Kanincha is going to come second again. Mudda's back to 3rd places and 3rd places only. And all of a sudden, Kanincha, sure, he's on finalist as well. But Miles has won the last 2 rounds and is now 1 round away from finalist himself if he gets another win.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Miles, can they make the comeback happen? Of course, realistically, Miles has to win 2 in a row if they want to win this heat. Like, I don't...
Sure.
Yes, you can argue Mudda might get one, but from the form we've seen, Miles got to win 2 in a row. And for that to happen, Stubbs has to make another mistake. And I'm still not sure I'm going to see that happen, so... I don't know. It feels like Miles is still 2 rounds away from a final, and then you're going to the next track. All right, well, there goes Kanincha. If Stuffs keeps it clean there through, Miles still looking at 6 points. I just don't know if we're going to be spending enough time on Bourdon for Miles to realistically take that 2nd place away on this map, on this track.
That's right, there's the mistake.
Oh!
Stubbs has made the mistake. He's clipped on the inside. Miles got so close to a clip of his own. He didn't clip, though, and so Miles clear from Mudda. Both of the Dutchmen out. Mudda will make a mistake, too. Sure, why not? The key thing here is we are heading to triple finalist.
Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to process Stuff's making mistakes 3 rounds in a row. What is happening?
I would like to point out the world we live in right now, Formal, because Mudda has just hit 90 points with his 2nd place in that round. If Mudda wins the next round, if Mudda gets his 2nd round win of this entire match, we get quadruple finalist.
Well, things are getting kind of nervy, it feels like, for the Dutchman, so who knows? We'll see how it plays out. I mean, it's Mudda in the lead through the first couple checkpoints. Now, this is where he's been losing some speed. More realistically, this is where Stos has been gaining it, but once again, it's still Mudda holding off the pack. The wood turn is where you can make or lose a lot of time going into the plastic, and now we're seeing the 2 Dutch drivers start to pull further ahead. Mudda, a bit too much hang time, is going to drop further back into 3rd.
Yeah, Miles made his mistake earlier in the round. He's out of it, over a 2nd down at the moment. It's up to Mudda to try and deny both of the Dutchmen right now, but he is starting to drop pace. Tech turn on the inside here. Mudda trying to catch back up. Might have a line on Stuffs, but Stuffs just keeping the pace around the outside there. Will not give it up. He comes down to the 2 Dutchmen. Who's first across the line? Wheel to wheel. Neck and neck. It's Kanincha who wins the match. He'll be the first player through in the upper bracket.
And let's not downplay how much of a comeback that was. Again, the first time we were in Bourdon, it was all Stuffs. Stuffs came into this as a finalist, doesn't win a single round. Kanincha is going to steal 1st place away from him. That is huge. Mudda still not a finalist. If they want to go through in the winner's bracket, they're going to have to win 2 in a row right now. Meanwhile, for the other 2, this is their chance to get through no matter what. It's going to be a dramatic finish. Mudda kind of already behind and out of it as Stuffs, that wider entry into the big U-turn, just maintaining that speed, starting to pull a little bit further ahead as Miles bonks.
That's Miles bonked. It's Mudda chasing Stuffs, but he's also dropped down. Miles, in fact, almost back in front of Mudda right now. It's just Stuffs. He needs to not make the mistake. He has lost 3, maybe 4, 2 or 3 or 4. I don't know. He's lost a few rounds on finalist from a winning position, from a clear winning position. He can't afford to do it again. He just needs to get it done, and what a win that would be. 2 Dutch players going through from the same match, remaining in the upper bracket of our mixed solo competition at the Trackmania Games. I think he's done it. I don't think there's a way for him to lose it from here. Stuffs the round after his countryman and teammate will follow Kanincha through in the upper bracket, just as we all predicted on the desk.
That said, we still got some seeding to play for and some pride as well, or do we not?
I believe no. Seeding is just taken from the positions they were in when we finished the match.
Well,
so
I
Miles
want the
ahead
1v1.
of Mudda at the end
I
there.
want the 1v1.
Listen. It should have been in 1st and 2nd, then.
Yeah, sure. Fair. Very fair. But yeah, that was... See, now the Netherlands are the only ones who wins, and UK gets, like, fake bragging rights over Australia because they didn't even
That's
finish,
true.
technically.
Yep.
It's not real.
Hey, I mean,
It's not real
huge
bragging
performance.
rights.
Hang on. Formal, let's bring back in our other casters, first of all. Let's see if they're available and ready to come back in soon. We'll bring a panel back along with us. But, like, let's talk about it a little bit, because that was a huge comeback from Miles in that match.
Yeah, it was a huge comeback from Miles. It was a huge comeback from the Rabbit as well. Like, I feel Stuffs... I don't know how concerned we should be that they kind of struggled at the very end, because it was a slow start and a slow finish, but in the middle,
Sure.
you saw the pace. You saw why they were that higher seed.
Yeah.
I just don't know why they struggled to finish. There was 3 rounds in a row where they had the lead and then made the mistake. And that could be concerning.
I mean, what I'd say, Gex, about Stuffed's kind of performance there, the difficulty in closing out the match is we can't forget that this is Stuffed's grand return to competitive Trackmania, right? Has kind of not been playing for a little while now.
So it's pressure. I mean, pressure to perform, especially if you've got a history, you know that there is that expectation on you. But you can definitely screw that up. But I think that the real story is the back end of that they got so close at all. It shouldn't have happened, but here we are looking at like the possibility of a very different top end of this, but it didn't happen.
Yeah. Orion, I think we're going to have to go to a break very shortly. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the other results from the other matches as we come back. Anything that you want to highlight before we even go to a break? Something you want to leave in people's minds about what's happened in these matches so far?
Do you know, I had my smug face prepared.
So did we. So did Max.
Didn't happen.
I told you this was going to be the cope match, all right? We're all in the lower bracket together now, okay? We're unified as one. Except for Noah Layak, who didn't even have an Irish driver in that, so
all right, well,
you're not invited.
That's frankly
works.
hateful. Frankly hateful. Just rude. We're going to go to a quick break. We will be back with more action from the mixed solo event here at the Trackmania Games following the tournament as it continues. We have started to split the players. Lower bracket now exists, and we'll see where everyone is sitting after we get back from this break. See you soon.